في كل مكان.
لازم نموت في غزة عشان في صبحية.
عشان نلعب. وانت من الجوع. انقذونا يا الله انقذونا. كل يوم بدك وجع. امشي ارض الله.
لماذا أحكام العرب؟
وين المساعدات تطلع
لا نعلم ماذا سيحدث.
خشيت نتنياهو والله خشيت نتنياهو.
Hello and very warm welcome to Reference. This is Farooq Hussain. In this hands-on video tutorial, we will learn how we can download and install DSpace CRIS on Ubuntu LTS. So DSpace, we know well, is one of the best institutional repository system. Either we need to create institutional repository or we need to create digital archive, we can use DSpace. But CRIS is actually the extended version toward repository. It's also a repository and the current research information system. So we mostly use CRIS in the research information system. So let's start this video. And in this video, we will learn how we can install the front end of DSpace CRIS on Ubuntu LTS. So here I am going to use the VMware Workstation 17 Pro to create a virtual machine. I don't recommend to use Windows to install DSpace or DSpace CRIS because Windows is not actually for production system. For practice you can use Windows, but Windows is not actually for production system. And I am using Windows 11 here, and on Windows 11 I am going to install the Ubuntu first, and Ubuntu 22.04 is one of the best recommended system for DSpace because it has no issue and it's well tested for on DSpace, and the current version of DSpace CRIS is actually 8. So here we are going to create one virtual machine with Ubuntu 22.04. So you need to download the ISO file of Ubuntu 22.04 that is available on Ubuntu website, and we are going to use this, and we can name this to DSpace. Here I am also giving the name to DSpace, and you need to provide 120. This is for test purpose, only for test purpose. For a production machine, you need to provide 1 TB or greater, or at least 500 GB to DSpace. So I mean to your operating system. So here I am going to use 120 just for test purpose. And the most important thing, the memory, you need to provide the memory is at least we can say 16 GB to only run the DSpace, but I mean DSpace CRIS, because it's consumed lots of, I mean much more memory or the RAM. So here for testing purpose I am providing 9 GB here because I have 16 GB on my system, so I just provide 9 here. And you can actually make it for 4 core, I mean processor, and you can use networking, and rest is actually okay. So close this. Now you can see this is 9 GB, 120 GB for hard disk, and we are using 4 CPU in the cores or processor, and we have net adapter here for networking. So now we are going to finish this setting and the power on the virtual machine. And if you want to learn what is DSpace and how it's work, and if you want to install DSpace only, so there's a video available on my channel. You can watch that video. So we need to select the keyboard layout, and we go with the English US normal installation, and we can download the updates during the installation. Of course, we need to erase the disk and install Ubuntu. The area you need to select, and you need to provide the name. So I just use DSpace and DSpace everywhere. Okay, now continue. So done. Here we need to restart, and it might take few time. Restart the system, and we almost ready to start. Okay, so let us log in. Okay, so the very first thing, I have created two guides to install DSpace Frontend, CRIS Frontend and the backend. So need to skip this, next, and done. Now let me paste those guide here. So in this video we will install the front end, and the next video we will try to install the back end. Okay, so To install Frontend, as I said, your system must be high configure. Here we are using a VM on 9 GB of RAM and 120 GB of hard disk with 4 cores. I mean the processor. So at the very first step, we need to. This is actually the guide that we have used to install the um, DSpace 8, and now we are going to. I mean, I have upgraded this guide to install the DSpace CRIS. I mean, the latest version of DSpace CRIS is actually 8. Okay. So what we need to do, we need to open the terminal, Control Alt T, and activate the admin mode, sudo so, the password. Okay, the password is actually this one, and we need to update and upgrade. Then it will take few time to update and upgrade. Ubuntu 22.04 is one of the best system to install DSpace 8. Here we are trying to use the slightly old version because it's DSpace 8 to match the compatibility of DSpace 8. So I mean the current version of DSpace is actually 9, and DSpace CRIS current version is 8. To match the compatibility of DSpace 8, we are going to use the slightly old versions but tested versions. So here we need to use the tested version to install it completely and fully functional. But they are not obsoleted versions. DSpace, I mean Ubuntu 22.04 is upgradable till 2027. Okay, so it's actually going to update and upgrade 42%. Okay, done. So it has completed the update and upgrade, and now we need to install the Node through NVM. Node is one of the utility, and that is required to install the DSpace frontend. So to install Node, we need to install the curl first, and we can install it through this command. It's apt-get install curl. So we can have this, we can copy and paste. So it has installed now, and now let us find the current release of NVM on this website. So it's available on GitHub, and we need to open this website on our web browser so we can have the current release. I mean, there the version of the NVM. On this website, copy this one, so the current release is actually 0.40.3. This is actually the latest release, and we just need to update the version here if the version change. So we just copy this, and let me clear this, and we need to paste this link and press enter, and we need to add the sources here, make it permanent, and now we can check the NVM list and we need to find the latest version here. And these all are prerequisites to install the Angular or DSpace CRIS Frontend. So on list we can search the latest version LTS, that is actually the 18.20.8. So here we are using slightly old version. We cannot go to 20.19.5. We are using actually the Ubuntu 22.04. So according to Ubuntu 22, we can have this latest version, and this is one of the good choice. You can even use it. In one of the last video we have used this one actually. I think I used this one. I don't remember. Maybe this one. 18.20.4. But now we have the latest LTS, that is 18.20.8. So we can have this here. This command will install it. You can see nvm install version 18.20. That is actually 8 is can have 8, not this. We need to update with this. Okay, so we can go here, we can paste this, and it will install it, and then it will download it and then install it. So it also check some to match the version compatibility. So it's actually matched. We can use it by default. We need to use this command to use it. Okay, we can check it now, not version, which version we are using for the not. Let's tell us we are using version 18.20.8. Okay, now after this step, we at the step 3, we need to install the yarn. Yarn is also an important utility or the prerequisite to have the DSpace CRIS Frontend. So we need to use this command. This is actually the curl, and then we have ss method, and we have this e, and then we can install it. We can clear this and paste this command. Now we can echo. We can add this, and now we need to update, and we can install yarn through this command. This is to update and this is to install. And paste this. So we can say yes. Okay, now we can check if we just add the yes here, so it will not ask you for going. You can check the version here. So the current version is the version of yarn is 22.22. Okay. So after this step, we need to download and install the DSpace CRIS. That is the important phase, and we can use the wget, and we can check the current version of DSpace CRIS Frontend. So we can go to DSpace website and DSpace CRIS Angular. On your browser you can write it. The first link is about the demo, and this one is actually the DSpace CRIS home. And there you can see, if I can zoom this, and there you can see it has REST, that is actually the backend, and Angular, that is the front end. So the release date is actually 24 3. I don't know, 2 is February or 3 is March. Anyways, okay, so we actually want Angular, and here we can see the Angular .gz format. So it's 2 days ago it's actually upgraded, and we can copy the source link here, and we can go to our guide, and I just show you what actually I am doing. So wget and then the link. You can match all these links, the version, what we are going to do. So we are on the right track, so we can copy this here on terminal. We can copy this, so we can actually, we are going to download this in .gz format. That's actually the zip format. So we are going to download Angular file, and you can see it's download with this name, and we need to unzip this, copy this, and come to our guide. This is just to show you what actually I'm doing. You can see tar x z x v f, and then the file name, and actually copy this, and we can go to terminal and we can unzip this. Now it's actually unzipped, so we can move this from this folder name. This is the long folder name. You can see DSpace -Angular DSpace CRIS and 2024 2 3. So this is actually the name of that folder. So we are going to change the, rename the folder to DSpace CRIS Angular. So we use move command, mv, change the name. Now we have changed the name. So the next step is actually to enter the directory. We use cd here. Cd is to enter in that directory. So we just use cd, and we are going to enter in this folder. So copy this, you can paste here. Now you are in this folder, so we can zoom this little. Now you are in this folder, and we can install the yarn in DSpace 8 Angular folder. So it might take a very long time to complete this process. It actually depends on the speed of your internet and of course the hard disk, and because this is one of the virtual machines, so it will take a long time. So I just pause my video here. When it may complete, I'll come back and continue with this. So it has done, and now let us move to the next step, and we are going to create the DSpace user and the directory here. That we will continue with the backend. So we can add the user as DSpace, which is already here, but let us just run the command here. Let me clear this. It has done with the version. So we can paste this. So we are going to add the user, that is DSpace, and DSpace is already exist. We have created the, and through this command we can change the password. If you want to change the password, you can change the password to DSpace. So I just updated it. So here we can make the directory, that is DSpace again. Directory is actually folder name, so we are going to create one folder, that is DSpace, and we can actually provide the rights to that folder directly. Use this command, and we can exit here through this directory. This is actually DSpace CRIS 8 Angular directory, so we can exit here, and now we can again activate the admin mode. Okay, so I just updated the password. And now we can move the front end to OPT and set memory limit. So it's actually heap up when we run the what we said. We actually start building, or we start running the front end with the node here. So when we start yarn, it's actually heap up. So for this process, we need to provide the space. I mean, what actually maximum the memory we are going to allot this, that is 6 GB. So we can actually fix the limit. So first we copy this DSpace CRIS 8 Angular in OPT directory. We are going to copy this folder in this folder. This is the first thing that we do. DSpace CRIS Angular with all fresh yarn may available in the OPT directory. It's taking time because it's one of the long folder having much more things. So we can actually going to allot the permission to DSpace as user and DSpace as directory, and in OPT directory we have DSpace CRIS 8 Angular directory. So we need to allow the admin permission here, these directory and the user, and now we are going to enter in OPT DSpace CRIS 8 Angular directory. We are going to enter in that folder. So here we can use the CD, and now we can echo this and we can make it permanent. Like we are going to allot 6 GB to export, I mean, when we actually run the fresh install. Now, so it may not actually heap up. So sudo gedit, and now we can actually connect the front end with, connect the front end with the back end, so we can use this. So here in opt directory we have the DSpace 8 Angular directory, and there we have config file, and then we have config YML file. So that is actually the yarn file, so we can provide the details of backend. So backend, where is backend available, so we can provide the details. Just paste this, and we use gedit as the editor here, or we can use nano as well, but I just go with the gedit here, and you can see this is true. Even we can match this. See, this is by default written here. When we install the what we said backend on this same machine, we need to change this again. So true is actually SSL, that is production machine. So this machine, the backend machine, is available on this website or this host, DSpace CRIS 7.4science.cloud. That is actually the address of host. And remember, this is actually DSpace 7, not 8. So when we actually run the front end, it will show the error there. The error is actually about not to connect with the 7. So, and the port is actually 443, and the namespace, that is slash server or backslash server. So this is fine. We can go with this. We can close this, and then this is the most important step. There we actually can start yarn, but it's actually heap up. So we use this option, and we say you have 6 GB, so you can easily start. Okay, so we can copy this command again, and we can go to the directory, and there you can see this is actually opt DSpace CRIS directory, 8 Angular directory, and where we are going to start the front end through this command. So you can paste this. That's it. It will start, it will create the proxy, it will create the URL to start the front end. So let us start. So this is actually the command, and when I press enter, it will start working. I can show you the whole process, but this is actually the very long process. So I just pause my video here, and I'll come back when it may complete. I show you how it's actually going on. So it's almost done. In fact, it's completed. So here we have the proxy, that is, you can see this is the backend link, and this one is actually the front end link. So we can open this, and we can go to the front end, which actually present a 500 error. That is the we can say it's actually the connection error because of the version compatibility. So it's local host and the 4000. This is the link to front end, and here we are at this link, and this 500 is actually services unavailable because this is not connected. In a way it's connected, but the server compatibility, the version, I mean the demo version uh, which is available is the 7, and we have installed the 8. That's why it's presenting 500 cache, but it worked perfectly. So you can see this is actually 500 error, and then rest is okay. So we can work with the, let me show you backend as well. So backend, what happening there is he has built all the applications. Take too long actually. So the backend is available on this. So it's DSpace CRIS. Copy this one. Don't use Control C because it will stop the server. So you can see this is the front end, I mean the back end. So here we have the back end. Okay, so go back to recommend to go in this. Okay, now but we are connected with this. Okay, and this may be because of risk, this may be because of the server compatibility. As far as my understanding, this is because of server compatibility, but we have done and we have successfully installed it, and our front end is ready to work with the backend. Either we install backend on this machine or any other machine, or we can connect backend, or if your backend is working on the SSL, so you can even connect that. I mean the production machine, you can connect with this. So let's finish this video here, and thank you very much for watching RefLimits. This is Farooq Hussain.